Definitely.
That's one thing. So when you intentionally decide to forgive, just know that you're doing it for your own self. And these are certain things that some people do in the process of forgiveness. Like, and one of the things I did, and I don't say you should do it, but it really worked for me. I grieved my loss.
Mm.
I got to a point where I locked myself in and I cried. Like I cried because one, you asked me a question why I stayed long in this relationship. This wasn't a relationship that was fluke. This was somebody that I once loved. This was somebody that, that broke my virginity. When I married him, I was a virgin. This was somebody that, I've been with for this number of years, and the emotions are there. Everything is
Yeah.
it's tough. It's challenging. When you say people should leave, sometimes it feels like, oh my goodness, I can't, it's difficult, and sometimes I just ask this question all the time, how did our love turn sour? How did we get to this point? But it's difficult to leave. But when you eventually leave, I don't want you to stay there. Don't remain in that situation. Don't stay there. The first thing I did, I grieved him like he was dead. Still alive, but when you grieve a loss, when you're crying, you're crying because honestly, crying is therapeutic.
Yeah.
Crying is therapeutic. So when you're crying, you're letting it out. And sometimes at some point I yelled out loud. I was more like, a woman in labor and she's holding on to things, she's grinching and all of that. I did all of that because yes, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Like a woman that is giving birth to a child, it's coming out. I want to let it out. I cried. I grieved him like he was dead. I literally like locked myself in. I cried. I grieved him. That was one first healing process. Then the second healing process was I intentionally decided to forgive him. So what I did was I wrote his name on paper. I wrote some people's name. I just kind of intentionally wrote it. I ripped the paper into pieces. You don't have to do this. It really worked for me. It worked for me. You don't have to do it. Some people kind of like would rip that paper into pieces, maybe burn the paper, but if you burn it and your your smoke detector starts going off, I didn't ask you to do it, but it worked for me.